and today we're going to do a quick little fun, super easy no-sew wreath. Basically you're just going to need about 2 yards of fabric, and what I did is I actually went to the fabric store when they were having a sale. I went to Joann's and then I used a paper pack that I liked that was there, and then I wound up buying it, of course. This one's by DCWV, and I just used the colors in here to pick my fabric. So I'll leave the matching colors up to them, and then these are the fabrics that I chose. So I chose a leaf pattern and an aqua paisley pattern and a dark yellow pattern and some brown and some terracotta. Okay, and these have already been cut, and I'm just going to show you the way I cut mine because they'll need to be cut in strips once you get them. I got a ½ yard of each color, and so it's just over 2 yards. And what I did is I left my fabric folded like this, the way it came, with the opening this way. And then I just folded it over and folded it over and folded it over, or I left it about like this. And then I was just able to cut strips, just like this, all the way down. That was a super quick way for me to cut strips, and then once I opened that up, they were just strips. And they don't have to be completely straight, they just have to be strips. So you can go as thin or as thick as you like. Mine are all about like this. And then what you'll need to do is you'll need some kind of wreath form, and I like to use the foam wreaths. So I've started this one, as you can see, and all you're gonna do is, I'm going kind of in a pattern, and what I've decided is I also want to add some of this sparkly tulle because I think it'll be pretty. So as I go through, I'm also going to add just a little bit of snippets of sparkly brown tulle, and I got this tulle at Hobby Lobby, and I think it'll just give it a nice texture difference, and it'll give it sparkle, which is mostly important. So just like that, you're just going to tie it in a knot all the way around. And since I haven't done any tulle yet because I forgot until I came in here to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead and add some tulle in some of these spots. The good thing about this is they're not glued on, so I can kind of just make a little space, spread them apart, and add what I need to add in case like you're trying to go for a certain pattern and you forget one of the colors or something. I did a school one for my daughter's teacher, and I did that last night and forgot one. I'll show you that one in just a little bit. But that's all you're going to do is you're just going to tie little knots all the way around the entire wreath and then squish it together. So I've put, like I said, I'm just going to fill in some tulle pieces, which I'll do after I get done with this. And we'll go ahead and I will pick my next color because I am going in a pattern. So I have my aqua color. I'm just going to tie it, and I try to tie it so that the pattern shows, but it really doesn't matter because they're going to all be squished together. It's super easy and fun to make. My kids like to help. And then I'm just going to trim mine a little just because they seem to be a little long, and I like to have those pretty little corners. You could use pinking shears, that would be really pretty too. But I don't have any pinking shears, surprisingly. So then I'll do my next one. And you can trim after you're done, or you can trim as you go. It's up to you. I like to be able to see how fluffy I want it before I trim too many of them because I'd hate to trim off too much. So, depending on how fluffy you like it. So that's it. You're just going to tie all the way around, and it should take you maybe, I don't know, it depends on how fast you tie. An hour? I don't know. So I'll come back to you once mine's all done, and then I'll show you the two, I don't know what these should be called, fabric wreaths that I made. I'll be back. nice and full. So just keep scrunching the whole time you're going, and then when she gets to the end, it'll be important to scrunch both ways so that you can fit on as many as you can. You should have some fabric left over, so 2 yards is over, I'm guessing. This is a 12-inch wreath, but I bet it could fill a 14-inch wreath also. I think the straw ones usually come in 14 inches. So and I will probably just go until my pattern lines up right here. So we're almost to that part. Looks like I just need to add one more here, and that will be it. Once you've come to a part where you think you can be done, and you think it's filled enough, then you can kind of scrunch it both ways, fluff it up, and you'll want to trim any of these long pieces that look like they're too long. So I'll do that, kind of like giving a little haircut. Any of these super long pieces that are just kind of hanging over. Otherwise, you're done. All you need to do is add a bow and a piece of ribbon to hang it. I'm just making sure I got all these extra long pieces. I think I got them all. You'll want a couple just hanging out, and that's it. So I'll add a bow, and then I'll put a picture at the end of this, but for now I'm going to show you another one that I did yesterday to let you see what the finished one looks like. And that one I made in school colors. I picked out a fabric that I liked at Joann's that was school themed, and then I built around that. So here's this one without its bow, and then my glittery mess. And then this one is the one that I made for my daughter's teacher. So this one, I picked out this alphabet fabric, and then I just picked colors that went with that. My daughter liked the apple fabric, so we got the apple fabric, and then with some yellow patterned and some blue patterned. And then I got a total of 2 yards because I got a half a yard of each, and there's only 4 kinds. So I have the die cut name of the teacher, a little chalkboard that says first grade, which that's a stamp that's coming out with Pink by Design. This was an apple that my daughter cut out of a DCWV stack, and I laminated all of these pieces because I know it's going to be in an elementary classroom and it's going to get touched and pulled on and played with, so I'm sure that having the laminated pieces will help. And this is their school mascot. That's it. That's all. And this came out from the DCWV stack as well, and we just cut that out and laminated it and put it on there. So I'm excited for her to be able to take this to school. She's excited to give it to her new teacher, and she starts on Monday. So yeah, next I will in the next couple of days I'll have another video on making a wreath out of crayons. So that will be the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.